sign that C form, and which attached me with the Montreal Canadiens, and which at that time gave me $100 a year, and I was really proud to, to sign that.
Sarah team staffed with former Habs. They won the first 2 post-expansion cups. Montreal had now captured 4 Stanley Cups in 5 years. By the early 70s, the Canadiens sought a former Leaf, Frank Mahovlich, to bolster their lineup.
I think the greatest ad that we had in those years was Frank Mahovlich. Frank Mahovlich, give us that edge.
The Big M joined his brother Peter.
I felt just great. I felt as good as anybody playing with the Montreal Canadiens. I fitted right in. I could understand why they won so many championships.
To me, what's the best game you ever saw? What's the best? I haven't got a best game or a best series, because I've seen so many great ones. But I've got a best year, and it was 1971.
The odds were, way against us because they had such a powerhouse.
We were on the dock against Boston, of course. There was no way.
Kenny was just phenomenal in the net. He stopped everything.
Would have to go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest triumph of the Canadiens. After all, we finished in 3rd place that year. I don't know how many points behind Boston.
But for the first time in its modern history, there was public controversy within the team. Coach Al McNeil had benched Captain Henri Richard.
I was unhappy. I wanted to play. I'm not saying now that it's finished, and he might have been right, but I didn't feel it was right then. I wanted to play. I was getting paid to play hockey, and I wanted to play. And I said he was the worst coach that I ever played for.
The matter took on political overtones.
When Henry don't play enough, it's not because he don't speaking French or English, because we speak both. We got no problem. When you want to win the Stanley Cup, there's no language.
In storybook fashion, Richard came off the bench to score twice, including the winner in the 7th game.
Sorry about saying that, because they start to do it, trying to get a language and English, French, and which I'd never thought about.
Once the applause left Montreal, so did Al McNeil.
I talked to Sam about it after the move was made. I said, how can you do this, Sam? I mean, this guy won a Stanley Cup for you. He said, well, I said, how can you demote the guy to the minor? He says, I didn't demote him. He said, I shuffled the cabinet. And that's it, end of story. That's Sam Pollock. That's why he was so great.
Together, they took control of Maple Leaf Gardens, making themselves and their shareholders wealthy. But John Bassett resigned in disgust, as the pursuit of money came at the expense of the hockey club. The Maple Leafs never recovered from the pair's folly. Tradition became lost in the carnival air.
Ads were put all through the place. Down came the picture of the Queen. Down came Foster's revered gondola. Down came the great pipe organ, and every nook and cranny was explored for the possibility of seats.
In 1972, Ballard was convicted on 47 counts of fraud. Stafford Smythe had died a year earlier.
The humiliation and disgrace, it wasn't bad, because I had a pretty good time down there at Millhaven. I had my own room.
Young Leafs like Darryl Sitley felt Ballard mishandled hockey matters.
He was very against world hockey and what they were costing him in salary escalations, and he basically made up his mind that for an extra $5,000 he was going to let a guy go, and he wouldn't pay the players. Where the Montreal Canadiens back then, I think they saw the future.
Ballard appeared to have little interest in spending money to make his hockey club better.
Did Harold sacrifice winning? I don't think he did. He wanted to win. I think the more you win, the more chance you have of being front and center, which was important to him.
He bothered me when some of the decisions that were made upstairs were not for the team or for the fans. Sometimes it looked like it was personal.
Ballard's questionable practices took their toll.
If my wife was here, she would say, yeah, at the end of the season, Ron was whipped.